Hi, my name is Katie Mitchell from Orange Shoe Personal Fitness. I've been teaching yoga for 15 years. I've gotten to teach in 7 different countries over the years, and I just love yoga. So I'd like to take this time to share with you some of my favorite tips and tricks about some seated postures that I've learned over the years. The first one is, just by coming to a cross-legged seat, you already start to open up your hips, your pelvis, and your low back. So if you're ever doing something at night, texting, emailing, maybe play with your phone, sit in a cross-legged seat, already you're winning, okay? So that's an easy one to add to everyday life. Then as you're sitting tall in your cross-legged seat, you're gonna bring your hands to your knees. You're gonna go out, down, and around. This is gonna help loosen up back here. It's called your SI joint. Your SI joint is where your low backs and your hips meet up. I think I've heard statistics before of like 60 or 80% of Americans claim that they experience low back pain, and this is gonna help stave off some of that low back pain that's pretty common. Here I'll have you switch your feet, and then we'll go out and down around the other way. So again, just working through what's called a trunk rotation. I'm trying to keep my back as flat as I can, almost thinking about hinging like a door at my hips and low back instead of a hunch or a round. And again, taking deep breaths as you move around. Anytime you can remember to take nice deep breaths during your yoga practice, it's gonna help just increase your overall flexibility. So next, we're gonna take our right foot and tuck it behind us, and we'll bring our hand to our hip. This is a setup for a deer pose, and it's gonna help elongate the area around the hips and thighs. So we're gonna gently just lift and lower. Inhaling, exhaling. When you keep your hips and your pelvis really movable and pliable, it gives your back more ability to move too. So a lot of times if somebody comes to me and they're like, oh my gosh, my back is so tight, what do you have for me? I'll actually start working on the flexibility and the mobility of their hips first. So after you do deer pose, maybe 8 to 10 times on one side, then you're gonna wanna flip that around and do the deer pose on the other side. Think about lifting your hip up and then pressing your hip down. You can also think about your hips as being like the foundation to your house, right? Your abs and your back are your powerhouse. And if your hips are loose and pliable, it gives more support to the main part of your body. So we're working on that hip flexibility in a seated position. Inhaling and exhaling. This is also a nice way to warm up before you go do anything like a run or a walk or a more advanced yoga practice too. Good. As we finish deer pose on that side, I'll have you come back to that cross-legged position. This is my favorite cross-legged seat, and if I want to challenge myself a little bit, I'm going to go to an awkward seat. So I'm challenging my hips to do something they don't naturally do on their own. From there, we're going to inhale as we come up, bringing our arms up overhead, and then exhale, press them down and out. We'll do that one more time. Inhale as you come up, and exhale as you bring it out. This time, when you inhale, come up, I want you to side twist, taking opposite hand to knee. Think about your heart being the leader, so you're really lifting through the heart. For extra challenge, take your back hand and place it to the center and let that guide you. If you want a little bit more, try to take your neck and turn it all the way as much as you're feeling comfortable towards the wall behind you. Then we'll inhale and exhale, twist to the other side. So as anybody ages, they naturally lose elasticity in all of their muscle tissue. By stretching a little bit every day, you can delay that loss and feel good. Make sure you're breathing deep, and don't forget to try to peek at that back wall behind you. Good, and then I'll have you inhale, come back center, and exhale, just fall forward. Stretching low backs and hips one more time. Double check that you're taking those nice deep breaths. And then we'll inhale, slowly roll up just a little ways. So that's the end of the seated postures. Next, we're going to move into sun salutations. So I'll see you for the sun salutations.